I hope that you are well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on prepositions. And before we start, you're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. You're going to log on with the username and password, grade 3 English language arts, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of preposition. All right, so our chapter is preposition. Our subject is English language arts. Grade 3. And then the lessons that we are focusing on under the chapter of prepositions. Then we're going to select the lessons. The lesson, that we're going over is to select the best preposition to match the picture. And to select the best preposition to complete the sentence. All right. So when it comes to prepositions, right? And in some words, they will tell us where something is or where something happens. All right, so we said that some words that will tell us something, that will tell us where something is or where something happens, and that is prepositions. Prepositions will tell us either where something is or it will tell us where something happens, right? So, like, say, for example, the milk is in the fridge, right? Maybe we can say the container is on or on top of the fridge. The broom is next to the cupboard, next to the fridge, in the cupboard, depending on where your broom stands. The dishes are on the sink or in the sink. All right. So when it also comes to prepositions, right? A few examples of prepositions or the most commonly used prepositions are words like above, behind, beside, between, by, in front of, inside, next to, on, outside, and under. Those are the most common prepositions. And also, very, those are examples, right, of the sentences that we will also be doing. All right. And if we look at an example, right, we're going to look at two examples and then we're going to go over to our activity. It says once again that some words, they tell us either where something is or they tell us where something happens, right? And we can say it's by the shop, next to the shop, in the shop, outside of the shop. Those are prepositions. And we see a few examples of common. And if we look at the examples, right, it says the cat is under the bed. The cat is under the bed. We now need to say where the cat is. So the cat is under the bed. We need to say where the cat is. So we need to identify where the cat is. And if we have to identify where the cat is, right, we were gonna underline the preposition. Then we say the cat is under the bed. Remember, only under. And it also says she jumps on the bed. She jumps on the bed. We need to identify the preposition within that sentence. Yes, but remember, we only say the one word, like for example, under or yes. So we only say under, for example. All right. And the next one says she jumps on the bed. She jumps on the bed. What is a preposition? Where did she jump? So we need to identify in the sentence she jumps on the bed. Where is she jumping? So it's basically just on, right? So just on. Because on is our preposition. So just on. Just the word on only. All right. So these are prepositions. All right. So it says once again some words that tell us either where something is or where something happens. And we just now made an example when we said the cat is under the bed. So we ask ourselves, where is the cat? Is under the bed. Then another one is she jumps on the bed. So she jumps on the bed. All right. And once again, before we move on, we say that a few examples or the common prepositions are words like above, behind, beside, between, by, in front of, inside, next to, on, under, and outside. And remember, the preposition is only the one word, it's not the other words that is added to the preposition. All right. So now let's look at these three sentences. We're going to have to complete the sentence by filling in the correct preposition. It says, the ball is the girl's hand. The ball is the girl's hand. What do you think is the preposition within that sentence? All right, so we need to say yes. So if we were to identify the correct word, then we would say the ball is the girl's hand. So we would then say the ball is in her hand because remember a ball is in your hand, right? The next one says the dog sits the boys. If we have a boy, right? We have two boys and the dog comes in the middle, then what do we say? So where do you think the dog will sit if he sits the boys? Yes, and we can say that the dog sits between the boys, right? So well done. Between is correct. Okay, some people are saying the dog sits on the boys, maybe on the lap. So yes, we can also have that. You can either say the dog sits on the boys' laps, or sit on the boys, or between the boys. So well done. The rabbit is the bush. The rabbit is the bush. All right, so we can say that the rabbit is in the bush. Either in the bush, next to the bush, right? But it is in the bush. So well done. So these words like in, on, between, here's another word in, these are prepositions, right? And that is why I said if we were to identify a preposition in a sentence, then we only identify the one word that tells us either where something is or that tells us where something happens. All right, now we're going to aplusstudents.ca, where we are going to do our tutorial lesson and we're going to do our test. So we're going to select the best preposition to match the picture. So look at the picture. All right, it says the sun is the tall grass, the tall trees. The sun is the tall trees. Look at here where the trees are and look where the sun is. The sun is the tall trees. Mm-mm. The lion is in front of the trees. All right, so we can, I think we can say in front of or you can say behind, right? Because those are words that you can maybe use to show where the tree the sun is. So we can either say behind or we can say in front of, right? To show us where the sun is. But behind is the most common one. All right, the woman is the door. Here we have the door, and here the woman is standing. The woman is the door. Where is this woman standing when it comes to the door? Is the lady standing above the door? Remember, above is something that is more like all somewhere on top. All right, we can rather say that the lady is standing in front of. I think we can rather say that the lady stands in front of the door. We can say in front of, but above does not sit well over there because above is something to do with on top, and in front of is correct. The woman is in front of the door. All right, and now let's look at where this box of um, bananas are. It says the fruit is in the box. The bananas are where when it comes to the box. The fruit, which is the bananas, is in the box. Where specifically are they when it comes to the box? Where are the bananas? The bananas. All right. And if we were to identify where the bananas are, then we can say the bananas are in the box, right? And the box of bananas are standing under the tree. Look at the monkeys. Where do you think the monkeys are? Look at the monkeys. Where are the monkeys? What are the monkeys doing? Where are the monkeys? So we can say that the monkeys are in the tree. We can say the monkeys are hanging on the branches, right? On the tree, in the tree, hanging on the branches, and the box of bananas are under the tree, right? So as long as you know what the prepositions is, prepositions, it basically tells us either where something is or where something happens. Let's go to our test. All right, so now we need to look at these two people over here. It says the people sit in the store. Do they sit inside of the store or do they sit outside the store? The people sit inside the store or outside the store? All right, then if we were to choose the correct one, we can say that the people sit outside the store because they're not inside, they're outside sitting on the bench, right? So outside is correct. Well done. All right, the shoes are in the door. Is it above the door or is it beside the door? The shoes, yes, the shoes. Here we have the door. Is it above the door or beside the door? The shoes. So we need to say where the shoes are. The shoes are either above the door or beside the door. Where are the shoes? All right, then if we were to identify where the shoes are, we'll say beside because above means somewhere on top. So we would say that it is beside the door. So well done. Beside is correct. The woman is the door. Is she above the door or in front of the door? The woman is above the door or in front of the door, which is the correct option. All right, it says that the woman is the door. Is she above the door or is she in front of the door? All right, so we can say that the woman is in front of. It's like she's standing in front of the door. So well done. In front of is correct. The fruit, where is the fruit? The fruit is inside the basket or the fruit is in front of the basket? So the fruit, where is the fruit? Is it inside of the box or is the fruit in front of the box? Bananas. All right, so we can say the fruit is inside of the basket because it's inside of the basket, not in front of, not next to. All right. The man and woman are the tree. Are they sitting above the tree or are they sitting next to the trees? The man and woman, do they sit above the trees or are they sitting next to the trees? Where are they sitting? Above the trees or next to the trees? All right, then if we were to select the correct one, we'll say that they're sitting next to the trees, right? So well done. Great job, everybody. All right, so now we're going to select the preposition to complete the sentence, right? And remember, when it comes to the sentence, we only add one preposition that tells you either where something is or where something happens, right? It says, I put my letter in the mailbox this morning. I put my letter in the mailbox this morning. Where did you put your letter this morning? All right, so we can say that I put my letters. Let's rather say I put my letters in the letter box. So in the letter box. Right? So well done. Oh, mailbox. Sorry, in South Africa we say letterbox, in the mailbox. Then it says in the winter we sleep big heavy blankets. In the winter we sleep big heavy blankets. Think of during winter time. Winter times we are getting cold, we are getting in bed. Now we're getting cold, right? And then we sleep big heavy blankets. Where do you sleep when it comes to the blankets? No, not in the blankets. So you sleep under the blankets, right? Because remember you're covering yourself, so the blanket is over you, so on top of you, something. So we can say that you sleep under the blankets, right? Because once you have thrown the blanket over you, then you are under the blanket. So now it's keeping you warm. And then an old apple tree grows the river. All right, so we can say that an old apple tree grows next to the river. So next to the river. All right, so now let's go to our test, right? We're going to our test. It says, she rides her horse. Do we say under the lake in the morning or beside the lake in the morning? She rides her horse. The lake in the morning. Is it under the lake in the morning or beside the lake in the morning? So she rides a horse. Do we say under the lake in in the morning or beside the lake in the morning? All right. And if we were to choose the correct one, the word that makes more sense, we can say that she rides beside the lake, right? Remember, can't say under the lake. So she rides her horse, and we said it is beside the lake. It's like saying beside is like saying it's next to the lake, right? So beside the lake in the morning. The next one says, my mother keeps her eye, her phone. My mother keeps her eye, keep her keys. Sorry, my mother keeps her keys, her phone. Is it beside her phone or outside her phone? And we said my mother keeps her keys. Does my mother keep her keys beside her phone or outside of her phone? Beside her phone or outside her phone? All right, so we can say that she keeps it beside her phone. It's like saying next to her phone, right? Someone dropped trash. Do we say in front of the ground or someone dropped trash on the ground? So where did she drop the trash? Did she drop the trash in front of the ground or on the ground? All right, so we can then say, because remember, somebody can't be dropping something in front of the ground, but it's on the ground, right? So on the ground is correct. Ron keeps his pet chipmunk in front of a small cage or inside the small cage. Ron keeps his pet chipmunk. Do we say in front of a small cage or do we say inside a small cage? All right, so we can say Ron keeps his pet chipmunk. We can say inside a small cage. And inside is correct, which is option 2. Let's do the last one and then we are done. The last one. It says, our elevator is stuck. Do we say it is stuck next to or between the second and third floor? All right, and then we can say the elevator is stuck. Do we say next to the second and third floor or between the second and third floor? All right, and we can say the elevator is stuck between the second floor as well as the third floor. So well done. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on prepositions. We said prepositions show us either where something is or where something happens. Most common prepositions is on, under, beside, next to. Those are but the few, right? And the preposition, it tells us where something specifically is. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on preposition. Thank you very much for joining the class. And I really hope that you're going to have a good evening, brother. All right. This lesson is grade 3. All right, so that is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade 3s. You should have a good evening further. Goodbye. This is grade 3. Oh no. Grade 4 is tomorrow.